Hello everyone, welcome to today's practice. My name is Dorian. For anybody who is newer to practicing with me, thanks so much for showing up. And thank you for being yourselves. Thanks for sharing in this community of yoga practitioners. For today's practice, we are going to be using 2 yoga blocks. Now, if you don't have yoga blocks at home, that's really okay. You can feel free to get creative with whatever it is you have in your space. You might use a chair or a couch as well. And then we are also going to be using a yoga strap. Once again, if you don't have a yoga strap, feel free to get creative. You can use an old pair of pants or any longer strip of fabric. A scarf will do fine as well. And then another prop that we're going to be using is a blanket. Also, once again, feel free to get creative. You can use a towel as well, or any other cushion for the knees. So we're going to start off today's practice by laying down on our back. So once you have your props, you can go on ahead and stretch out, laying down on your back. And we're going to set ourselves up in a very specific way. So as your back body comes down to the earth, go ahead and scoot your right shoulder slightly to the right, left shoulder slightly to the left, making space for the back of the heart to drop in between the shoulder blades. And from here, go ahead and bend your elbows, cactus your arms so that the backs of the hands come to rest against the earth, and also the backs of the wrists, the place where you might feel a wristwatch on the back of your hand or the back of your wrist. If it's difficult for you to rest the backs of your hands against the ground with your elbows bent, you can feel free to begin to lengthen your arms a little more, creating more of a V shape with the arms. And then once your upper body is nicely arranged, go ahead and bend your knees, stepping the soles of your feet down to the ground. And just go ahead and widen your feet away from each other, allow the knees to knock in towards the center. And then just see if you can sink your tailbone towards the foot end of your mat, lengthening your lower back against the ground. Softening the muscles of your face, begin to press the backs of your shoulders, the backs of your wrists, and your elbows down against the ground so that you can feel some muscular engagement in the place where the shoulders fit into your upper back body. Keep that pressure going for a count of 1, 2, 3. Release the pressure of your arms against the ground. Wrap your arms around yourself. So see if you can hold on to opposite shoulder with opposite hand, or just hold on to the sides of your body as best as you can. Hugging yourself nice and tight. Take a nice big breath in. A full breath out. A big breath in. A full breath out. Release your shoulders or the sides of your body and let the arms come back to a cactus shape. And then once again, press the backs of the hands, the backs of the shoulders against the earth for a count of 1, 2, 3. Release that pressure against the ground. Hug yourselves, but switch the crossing. So if your right arm is on top the first time, left arm is going to be on top this time. Then just hold on to your bodies. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Once again, find a cactus shape of your arms. This time, don't work so hard to press the arms against the earth. And then just windshield wiper the knees from side to side, keeping both elbows, backs of both wrists, and both shoulders attached to the ground here. Just notice those diagonal lines of energy from shoulder to opposite knee as you travel from side to side. Nice work, everyone. Go ahead and pick one of your sides to roll over onto that side. And then gathering yourselves together, begin to press your bodies upright to a seat. You can feel free to sit any way you'd like. I'm going to sit cross-legged because that's what feels best in my body right now. But you can feel to extend your legs forward in any direction, allowing your sitting bones to rest against the earth or some cushion if that's a better fit. And then once you find the seat that feels available, extend your arms out wide towards the sides of your space. And then keeping your left palm facing down, rotate your right arm, so the right palm floats up towards the sky. Beautiful. And then switch. and then switch. And switching from side to side, moving at a pace that feels good for you. You might float your eyes closed just to experience the sensation of the shoulders working. Beautiful, everybody. Coming to a rest with both palms face up towards the sky, use an inhale to lift a prayer high above your heads. And go ahead and wiggle around a little bit, creating some space between the rib cage and the waist here. Rooting the sitting bones down against the earth. Inhale, float the gaze up towards the sky, lifting the shoulders by the ears. On your exhale, draw the palms to a prayer at your heart center. Keep the elbows wide away from the heels of the hands, and then press right hand into left, left hand into right, so that you feel, once again, the place where the shoulders fit into the upper body. Setting an intention for today's practice, adding anything in the space of the heart that might be helpful to open, to strengthen. And to add some vibration, some energy raising to our practice, the offering is a breath in for the sound of Om. Taking a full inhale here. Wonderful work so far, everyone. From here, floating your eyelids open if they were closed. We're going to meet up in a hands and knees pose. So either swinging your legs around behind you or rolling over cross shins to find your hands and knees. If your knees are sensitive, you can use your blanket to pad up underneath so that there's a cushion for the knees. Another option is to double up, bubble in your mat so that you have some cushion for the knees underneath you. Then however the hands and knees shape shows up in your bodies, palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to find a few rounds of cat and cow. So pressing your palms, drop the belly as you float the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhaling to round your back, lifting your navel center as your head drops down. Again, inhale as the belly drops, gaze floats up. Exhaling to curl into yourselves, chin into chest. Finding a few rounds here, moving at your own pace, so feeling free to speed up or slow down as suits your energy in this moment. But feeling really mindful of how the torso passes in between the shoulder girdle. All that movement in that joint on either right and left sides of your upper bodies. Finishing up a few more rounds of cat and cow here. And then go ahead, find your way into a neutral spine. So not cat, not cow, just you. Stacking the shoulders on top of the wrists. We're gonna isolate the upper body. We're gonna keep the lower body nice and neutral, but on your breath in, press your palms against the ground and lift the upper middle part of your back towards the sky. Feeling the shoulder blades protract or separate. And then on your exhale, go ahead, just let the heart drop between the shoulders so that the shoulder blades come together. Try and keep your arms long. This is shoulder retraction. Press the palms against the earth, rise the upper middle part of your back towards the sky. Go ahead, drop the heart in between the shoulders. And it's hard to do this with your arms straight, so keep pressing into the pinky sides of your hands and the L shape of the thumb and forefinger as you lower and lift the torso in between the shoulders. Good work, everybody. A few more times, feeling the work, feeling the energy in the arms. Then find a place that's neither protracted nor retracted. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, hips to heels, child's pose shape. Go ahead, start to reach the fingers forwards towards the front edge of your mat as your forehead finds its way down to the ground. You might gently rock the forehead from side to side, creating some space in between the ears and the shoulders. And then keeping your hips nice and heavy, come onto tented fingertips, so lifting the palms away from the ground. Start to walk the hands over towards the right side of your space, so almost reaching towards the upper right diagonal of your room. Once again, hips stay heavy. Flatten your right palm against the ground. Take your left hand landed on top of your right hand. So the left palm on top of the back of the right hand. Imagine you could only breathe into one lung at a time. Take a breath into your left side rib cage. And a full breath out. Again, breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Breathing in. And breathing out. Begin to walk your hands over towards the left side of your space, using tented fingers to travel over. And then keeping the hips heavy, flatten the left palm against the earth. Take your right hand on top of the back of your left hand. Drop your head. Breathing into the right side rib cage. Deep inhales. Full exhales. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Breathing in. And breathing out. Walking your hands back towards the center. And then gently walking your hands back towards your knees. Finding your way into a hands and knees shape, rolling your torso up. For this one, I am going to use a blanket, so feel free to grab your blankets. We're going to take that blanket and we're going to place it underneath the knees. So the blanket's going to go underneath the knees for some extra cushion. And then we're going to take our blocks out in front of us. From a hands and knees position, we're going to go ahead and lower our elbows onto those blocks. So depending on what your bodies are feeling like, you might use a higher setting. If you're really tense in your shoulders, you might use a higher setting. You might take it down to a lower setting. Take the time to feel it out, what feels best in your bodies. If you don't have blocks, you might take your elbows onto a couch or onto a chair. So the elbows are going to come onto whatever it is that you're working with. Interlace your fingers to make a nice tight double fist with your hands, and then start to scoot your hips back away from your elbows so that you can lengthen the underside of the arms, the triceps, but also allow some release in the shoulders. Try to breathe. This can be a little uncomfortable or a lot uncomfortable, or it might feel very pleasant to you. Just taking the time to increase the distance between the elbows and the hips so that there's a backwards moving energy here. Keeping the navel center drawn in towards the backbone, but keeping the belly soft enough so that you have space to breathe in and breathe out. Softening the muscles of your face, allowing that gentle descent of the heart towards the ground. Just allowing the movement of the breath to soothe your bodies as we find opening, as we find structure. Good work, everybody. Keep pressing those elbows down against your support blocks or couch or chair. A few more inhales and exhales. Good. Pressing the elbows down against the blocks. Start to walk your knees forward towards your blocks until you can take the hands down to the earth, coming back into your hands and knees pose. Take a moment to shift your body's weight from side to side, feeling how the shoulders, how the upper arms feel. And go ahead, tuck your toes underneath. Use an exhale to lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Now, down dog is going to be the most weight that we've put on our shoulders, arms, hands, wrists so far. So be mindful as you find your way into this shape. Pedaling the heels into the ground as you shift your hips from side to side. You might shake your heads no or nod your heads yes, letting go of tension in your neck, your upper back. And then eventually settling your way into a downward facing dog stillness. Feel the pads of all 10 fingers pressing against the earth. Feeling the rise of the shoulders away from the wrists, and then the rise of the hips away from the shoulders. Take a full breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. One footstep at a time, begin to walk your way forwards towards the top of the mat, taking as much time as you need and keeping as much of a bend in your knees as you need. And then whenever you reach the top of your mat, go ahead, hold on to opposite elbow with opposite hand, with feet inner hips width distance. Soften your knees and just let your body sway from side to side. Your head is heavy, your shoulders are heavy, working with gravity here. Switch the crossings of your arms, holding on to the opposite elbow with the opposite hand. Go ahead, release your arms down towards the earth, shake your heads no. Nod your heads yes. Keeping your knees very soft, begin to roll your bodies up to a stand. Take all the time that you need. And as you rise all the way up to your full height, plant the soles of the feet against the ground. Take an inhale to roll your shoulders up, back, down away from your ears. Again, shoulders up, back, down away from the ears. One more time, shoulders roll up, back, down away from the ears. We're gonna reverse that. Shoulders are moving back, up, forward, down, in front. Again, back, up, forward, down, in front. One more time, back, up, forward, down, in front. And then just give yourself a little shake out. Go ahead and take your left palm against your outer left thigh. So hold the left hand against the left thigh with the left shoulder dropped. Soften your knees. Inhale your right arm up high to the sky. Float the gaze up to the right fingers. And then start to reach that right arm towards the wall behind you, but let your gaze pass along with your right fingers. Sweep the right arm forward, lift the gaze, lift the right arm high. And then reach the right arm back behind you. One more time, sweep the right arm forward and up. And then reach the right arm back behind. Reverse, right arm reaches back. Right arm high, and then take it all the way down in front. Two more times, right arm reaches back. Right arm high, right hand comes down in front. Last time, right arm reaches back. Right arm lifts, right arm comes down in front. Replace your hands, so switch arms, right hand to your right thigh. Soften your knees, lift your left arm, float the gaze up. And then let it pass towards the back wall. Again, left arm lifts. Reaching back. Down in front. Again, left arm lifts. Reach it back. Down in front. Switch sides. Left arm rises. Looking forward and down. Again, left arm back. Forward up. And down. Last time, left arm back. Up and down. Beautiful. Press into both of your feet. Lift your arms above your head. Take a prayer high above. On your exhale, soften your knees. Forward fold all the way down to the ground. Give yourselves a little shake. Shoulder shake, head shakes. Reach for your strap. Soften the knees. Begin to roll your bodies up to a stand, holding on to your amazing strap. Now, for our strap work today, we're going to start off with the hands in front of the body. And you can hold on to your strap or your scarf or whatever piece of fabric it is that you're using a little wider than shoulders width distance. Planting your feet underneath your hips. Take an inhale, lift that strap, holding on with both hands above your head. And then once you get the strap up nice and high, lift your shoulders up by your ears and give the strap a little tug. Feel the shoulder muscles turn on. Big breath in. On your exhale, start to reach the hands back behind you. Now, up high, you're only going to be able to get so far. And then once you get to a place that feels uncomfortable or a place that feels like work, widen your hands along the strap and then see if you can drop the strap back behind your back body, taking it all the way down to the height of your waist. We're going to reverse that. On an inhale, lift the strap up high to the sky. exhale, take the strap forward in front. We're going to move back and forth at our pace for a while. And as you move forwards and backwards, moving with the speed of your inhales and exhales, remember first and foremost to move with the breath. Inhale to rise, exhale to descend. But also as you're passing forwards and backwards, try to keep the tension of the strap intact between your two palms. Also, try not to cheat yourselves by lifting one arm or the other, like higher, like this. Try to keep the hands lifted to the same height, as they move forwards and backwards. Beautiful work, everybody. A few more times, rising and falling. Taking your time through the stuck, stiff, or tight places. And trying not to let the chest move forwards and backwards. Nice, everyone. Go ahead, stop when the arms are lifted up high above. Release the strap with your left hand so that you're holding onto the strap with just your right hand. And then you're going to go ahead, bend your right elbow, drop that strap behind the back of your head. Reach behind your back body with your left hand, hold on to the other end of the strap. So we're holding on upper strap with the right hand, lower strap with the left hand. Get a nice tight fit of the strap in your hands, and then we're going to move back and forth. So pull the strap with your right hand, lifting your right arm, right fist. Maverick, no. And then pull the strap with your left hand, letting the left arm drop down. Good girl. My cat wants to get in a room. Inhale, lift the strap with your right hand. Exhale, pull the strap down with your left hand. Just moving forwards and backwards, rather up and down, just like that, at your speed, at your pace. Good work, everybody. Release the strap with your right hand. Lift the left arm up high to the sky, holding onto the strap. Bend your left elbow, drop the strap behind your head, and then reach behind your back body with your right hand, holding on with both hands. Give that left hand a tug, lifting up, and then a right-handed tug, pulling down. Once again, left lifts, right comes down. Moving up and down at your pace, feeling the back body, feeling where the shoulders connect to the torso. Beautiful work. And then you're going to go ahead and release the strap, take it down to the earth. Give yourselves a little shoulder shimmy, feel where things are. Planting your feet against the earth, take an inhale, lift the arms up high above. On an exhale, go ahead and lower yourselves all the way down to the ground, forward fold. Softening your knees here. Step your left foot back to a lunge. You can lower your left knee down to the earth, lower the left knee down to a blanket. And then untuck your left toes so the top of the left foot finds its way to the ground. Take both hands on top of your right thigh. And then press your hands into that right thigh to lift your shoulders on top of your hips. You might stay right here. This is a great place to work on just lifting the heart space away from the ground. You might take your palms by your sides, palms open towards the sides of the space. So instead of having it palms facing towards the body, rotate the hands away from the body. Feel the shoulders open and drop. And then start to sweep your arms back towards the wall behind you, circling the hands all the way up towards a prayer above your heads. Big breath in here. On your exhale, cactus your arms by your sides, shoulder blades pressed together. And then go ahead, press your palms and forearms together in front. So feel the opposite motion of cactus arms. We're going to do this 2 more times. Drop your arms by your sides, rotate the palms out. Sweep the arms up to our prayer above. Cactus your arms, breathe in. Exhale, press the palms together. Last time, reach your arms by your sides, palms face out. Sweeping the arms up to a prayer above. Cactus. Pressing palms together. And then lower your hands to the earth, framing your front foot. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee away from the ground. We're going to take a twist to the right, lifting the right arm up to the sky, opening the gaze to the right thumb. Big inhale here. Exhale, the right hand comes down to the ground. Step to the top of the mat. Hands to shins, take a half lift to lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. A high prayer lifts you all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, but this time sweep your arms back behind your back. Interlace your fingers behind your back body. Let that double fist rest on the small of your back as you draw the shoulder blades together, elbows lifting up towards the ceiling. From here, you might begin to extend some length through the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together as your head drops towards your shins. Full breath in. Deep exhale out. One more big breath in. Use the exhale to release your palms down to the ground, framing your feet. Half lift to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Palms to the ground, soften your knees. This time, step your right foot back to a lunge. Lower the right knee down to the ground, untuck your right toes, palms come to the left thigh. Using your hands against the left thigh, press to rise your torsos upright. Finding your balance between the left foot and the right shin, top of the right foot. You might stay right here. You might reach the fingertips down towards the earth, spiraling the palms open towards the sides of your space. Reaching the fingertips towards the wall behind you, circling the hands to a prayer above your head. Cactus the elbows, drawing the heart space forward. Press your palms and forearms together. Open up the back of the heart. 2 more times. Fingertips reach down. Open the palms. Circle the hands to a prayer above. Cactus your elbows. Press palms, forearms together. Last time. Fingertips reach down. Palms open towards the side. Arms reach out and up. Cactus your arms. Palms, forearms together. Release your hands down to the ground, framing your left foot. Tucking your right toes, lift up your right knee. And then take your twist. Left arm lifts as you float the gaze towards the sky. Deep inhales here. Exhale, the left hand comes down to the ground, framing your left foot. Stepping to the top of the mat. Once again, hands to shins, half lift to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. High prayer, rising all the way up. Exhale, sweep the arms back by your sides. Interlace your fingers behind your back as your head drops down. So switch the grip this time so your opposite thumb is on top. That double fist rests on the sacrum. Draw the shoulder blades together. And then you might begin to experiment with lengthening the arms behind you as you drop your head towards the earth. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. One more full inhale. Use the exhale to release your hands down to the ground, framing your feet. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, forward fold into yourselves. Softening your knees, go ahead, step back to a plank pose. And then bend your elbows, lower your bodies all the way down to the earth. Forehead comes to the ground. Open your arms wide towards the sides of your space like the letter T shape. And then walk the right fingers over to the right, left fingers over to the left to increase the distance, the space between your armpits. From here, keep the right arm nice and long. Slide your left palm underneath your left shoulder. And then begin to press your weight over onto the right side. So keeping that right arm extended, just roll over onto your right side body. You are 100% in control of how deep this stretch goes. So if you're not feeling a lot of sensation, it's okay to press the left hand a little harder. If you're experiencing a lot of sensation, ease off on that pressure and just allow the right shoulder to open here. You might stay exactly where you are. You might step the sole of your left foot to the earth behind your back body, trying to point the left knee up towards the ceiling. As you breathe in, and out, and in, and out. One more full breath here. Sliding your left leg to meet your right, roll back onto your belly, open up both arms wide. Walking the left fingers over towards the left. Then slide your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Start to press your body's weight over onto your left side. Stacking the hips here, option to stay right where you are. Option to pick up the right foot and step into the earth behind your back body. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Go ahead, slide your right leg to meet your left. Come back onto your belly. And this time, both hands land underneath the shoulders, pressing back to a hands and knees shape. Then we're going to go ahead and take a moment, sit up on our shins to prepare for our next posture, which is going to be a supported fish pose. So we're going to use our blocks to find our way into our supported fish pose, but if you don't have blocks, essentially what you want to have elevated is the area between your shoulder blades. So the length of your spine from the rib cage, the underside of the rib cage, or the base of the rib cage, all the way up to the base of the neck. So feel free to get creative with props there. For my friends at home who have blocks, the way that we're going to structure the blocks is we're going to have one block that is long. At the middle setting, this is going to go in between the shoulder blades, just like I said, supporting the back of the heart space. And the second block is going to support the back of the head. So I'm going to structure myself here so that I have shoulder blades block and then head block. I always like to keep a blanket close by me for nice held positions in case I get chilly. With your back facing the blocks, you're going to go ahead and find where that block for the shoulder blades is and just allow the back of your heart to rest on it. And then reaching back for the block for the head. And from here, just allowing the palms to rest face up towards the sky. I'm going to take my blanket and cover my pelvis for extra weight, extra warmth. I'm going to give myself a minute or two just to get used to the blocks underneath the back body. It can be a little uncomfortable at first. You might have to do a little adjusting, but once you find that sweet spot, it's just about allowing the shoulders to get heavy on either side of the spine so that you can find a release. Feeling the heart open. And that second block underneath the head, it might feel really good at the highest setting. But as you spend a little time in your restorative or your supported fish pose, you might drop that block a setting or two, just being mindful of how much your neck feels like bending today. And just taking the time to quiet the space of the mind. Drifting into a sense of ease and support. Of course, for some of us, the blocks and the supported fish are a good fit, but if at any time that doesn't feel good, you can remove those props and find your way into a more traditional Shavasana shape, landing fully against the earth. breath in. Sigh it out, let it go. Very gently bend your knees, stepping the soles of your feet down to the ground. And really carefully begin to roll over onto your side, taking your time as you find your way off of the props. Spending a little bit of breath, a little bit of time here on your side body, just getting used to the absence of the support of the blocks in between the shoulder blades. And gathering yourself together as you press your way upright to a seat. Allowing the hands to climb back to a prayer at the heart. Softening the gaze or keeping the eyes closed just to witness change, anything that might have shifted from how we started our practice. Identifying with any part of today's class that may have resonated. Maybe borrowing it for your personal home practice or sadhana. And then celebrating our present capabilities, celebrating our togetherness by breathing in for the sound of Om. Taking a full breath in. Thank you all for being a part of this practice. Thanks for taking the time to support yourselves. I'll see you all the next time that I see you.